Hey everyone, and welcome to your 7th C++ tutorial. And in this video I just want to go over what we've covered in the last all the last tutorials. Yeah, we went over a lot, so I just want to make sure you understand it all and it's all sticking. So let's start. Alright, so up here, remember we went over this hashtag include. It's technically called the preprocessor, and you always need one. We went over the using namespace standard and why it's important. Remember when if I deleted it, then you would have to type in, std colon down here before this, before end line. So yeah, we need that. We went over our main function, which is right here, and we covered how every program starts here at your main function. We learned about input and output. Cout, type something out onto your screen, and cin lets you type something back in. Endl stands for end line, and basically just goes the next line. We learned about the variables with we learned about the variables with or without the initial values. And you'll remember here that this is the data type, integer, the variable name, which here is no value, and this would be considered what? It's the variable with no initial value. This one right here, data type, variable name, 20 is our initial value. So, if we had this one and we called upon it later on in our program, it would just come up 20. This one would be the one we use to let our user assign a value to it. Going down right here, I made up a very short list of the most popular ones, especially the ones that we're going to be using, the data types. Now remember, we've only been using int for integer, which is the whole number. Well, here we go. We have int, so the data type, the variable name, and they can only be whole numbers in this, which is 20, 30, 40, 55, anything you want. This char or char this can be text. So this is the data type, the variable name, and this can be text, you just type out some text you want. And if the user called upon this variable, instead of a number, the text would come up where you're calling it up. And floats, these are pretty important too, because integer is only a whole number, and it has to be the whole number. Float is basically any number. It could be negative, positive, or it could have the decimal values in it. So it doesn't have to be 20. It doesn't have to be 21. It can be 20.1 or something like that. It could have the decimal values in it. So floats are important, and we're going to be using them a lot in our little upcoming project in the next video. So there's our variables. We learned how to do simple math inside of our variables, which we have here, data type, variable name, and simple math problem. And when we call upon that, it'll just put up our answer later on in our program. And we learned how to leave comments and how to use them. And I put this because I thought it was funny, because remember in the very first video, or one of the first videos, I told you how, oh, this is the best way to use them, and I always use this to leave comments, /, *, *. Well, if you noticed in my little video here, absolutely none of my comments start like that. They're all just //. So I thought that was kind of funny, and I figured I'd just add this in there just cause. But so in our next video we will be doing making our own little project here, starting our very first project. And if you remember from the first video I put up, when I said, oh, this may look confusing now, but in a few short videos, just an hour or two of studying, you'll understand it all. Well, look at that. It was about a half hour. Maybe these videos are a half hour or 45 minutes long. And here is that first screen I showed you a few tutorials back. Remember I said, oh, it's confusing, you don't know what this means, why is this here, what is this? Well, look at it now. I bet you just after a little half hour of studying and you got it down. We have a float variable, C out means text, type out, C out, type out, C in, that's what the user is going to put in. And then here we go, we have the third variable, 1, 2, the third variable, and this one actually equals these first two, multiplied. And then once again, we have just C out, and I'm not going to worry about that bottom one yet because we're not going to cover this jump 2 point, just skip that. But yeah, look how easy it is now. Just after a few short videos, and you could completely understand this, read it, show your friends, show off, make your own little projects, impress everyone. But yeah, so let's go to our next tutorial, and this one will actually be a fun little project we can make, and then you could go on to make your own to get some practice. So I will see you in that video.